friends, and welcome back to the Afrofood Diary. My name is Geraldine. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Just like in my last video, I'll be giving you jollof rice with a different taste as well. This time around, we're going to be making a vegetarian friendly jollof rice with a Mexican kind of taste. Please sit back as I walk you through the process and tell you my little story about Basmati rice. I'll be using 2 cups of Basmati rice as this recipe calls for Basmati rice. This is the type I'm using. It's called Himalayan Basmati rice. I have some green beans. I have green chili and mixed bell peppers. I have onions, the spring onions and purple onions. I also have half a cup of boiled kidney beans and a handful of sweet corn. Over here I have tomato puree, from which I'll be taking 5 tablespoons. I have about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I have garlic paste, from which I'll be using about half a teaspoon. I have some green chilies, like I said, and some chopped coriander. Now let's start cooking. The first thing you want to do is wash your basmati rice very well. Like, wash it thoroughly until the water comes out clean, as I am doing right here. And this may sound really funny, but I am not used to basmati rice. Like, we don't really cook that in my house. That's why most of my videos you see me making rice with something that looks like our Niger rice, right? Yeah guys, so tell me in the comment section, do you eat basmati rice, jasmine rice, you know, the Oyibo type of rice, and why do you like it? Let me know in the comment section, just in case you might end up converting me. So sorry guys, I also have a handful of green peas over here. They are frozen, that's why they look like that. So I'll go ahead in this pot. If you have a wider wok, you can use that, a wok with lid or non-stick pot. So I'll transfer the 2 tablespoons of oil into my pot, and then I'm going to be using this garlic paste. If you have fresh garlic, please chop it finely and take about half a teaspoon of it. So I'm going to saute the garlic in first, and then I'll be adding the sliced purple onion at this point. Feel free to use white onions as well. So I'll be sauteing that onions in for about 30 seconds to 1 minute, okay? And once that is achieved, I'll add the washed rice. So what we are doing is toasting the rice on high heat for at least 2 minutes before we'll proceed. So once that is ready, I'll add the bell peppers, the traffic light bell peppers, the green, yellow and red, but you can use just green if that's what you have available. Next, I'll toss in the green peas at this point. Combine everything together gently, and you can see that the color is already popping. This is a vegetarian rice, so it's veggies packed and well spiced. Stay tuned as you will see the very necessary spices used for this recipe. So next I added the tomato puree. Note that you are using tomato puree for this recipe and not tomato paste. The difference is that tomato puree is a lot more fluidier than paste, and the taste is a little bit milder than the regular tomato paste, if that makes sense. So I'll stir that in. I used about 5 tablespoons of tomato puree, and then next I added a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon. I added about half a teaspoon of black pepper. Black pepper. Another thing is that this rice is meant to be spicy. The next important ingredient is cumin powder, half a teaspoon of chili, red chili, half a teaspoon of chili flakes, our Niger Osobo, and then a teaspoon of oregano. Next, I'll be adding a tablespoon of our Nigerian tomato stew, or what they will call tomato sauce in Oyibo shops. So I poured in the sliced green beans, and then I'm going to combine everything together. After which I will go on and add some water into this. Just like when we're making our Nigerian jollof rice, you don't want to overdo this. We're going to be adding the water bit by bit, and at this point I'll be adding water just enough to come a little bit up to the height of the rice, but not covering the rice completely, which is like somewhere between 1 to 1.5 cups of water. So I'll combine everything together once again, like loosen the sauce up, loosen the rice and the ingredients in it up into the water I added, and keep the lid open and allow it to come to a boil like I've just done. So I'll stir it again, making sure that everything is combined. I will be tasting for salt at this point too, and then I'll let it steam one more time for about 5 to 6 minutes with the lid still open. The reason I'm doing this is so the rice can cook at least halfway before I add the kidney beans and the sweet corn, like you can see me add here right now. And then I'll be adding the green chili. I chopped it into those big chunks so that I can pick them out after I'm done cooking, but you can slice them into tiny bits as well. So I added the spring onions at this point and the chopped coriander leaves. So this rice is vegetable and is vegetarian friendly. Reason I didn't use seasoning cubes, okay? Those spices we used, and then this mixed spices I'm adding right now is all we require for this recipe. You can also add vegetable seasoning cubes if that's available to you. So at this point I needed to add a tiny little bit more water to this rice, but you check the one you are cooking depending on the rice you have, and you check as you cook, okay? So we add little by little so that we don't get the rice too mashed up, too mushy. Yeah, so at this point it's halfway cooked, and I'll cover it with this baking sheet and replace the lid and let it cook for a good 5 minutes on very low heat until it's soft enough like our regular jollof rice. So at this point you will taste to see if the rice is well cooked, which it is at this point, and the taste, and be sure that the salt, everything is okay, which it is for me. So when it comes to the taste of this rice, is so different from our regular Nigerian jollof rice because of course we use the different kind of spicing that that points to the Mexican folk, right? Yeah, so that's what you expect with this recipe, something different. So if you're like me that once in a while try new recipes, please give this a try and let me know what you think about it. And if you're not truly vegetarian, you can use your chicken and all those things in this recipe and it will come out popping. And with that, I'll beg you to hit the like button for this video and share with your friends who might want to try something new. Thank you so much for hanging on with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.